Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Tech Shamans.
Tech Shamans.
I got my kid in the back. Normally, he's like, dude, you looked fat. Today, it's like, you gotten skinnier. I'm like, no, I'm not skinnier.
Oh my gosh, John, you're wasting away.
I'm
in
just
Margaritaville.
Margaritaville.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm just saying. Oh my God.
Oh, good. So, what were you doing this weekend? Nothing? Good.
No. I rowdied this weekend.
You rowdied?
Yep, I rowdied. We won. So we're in second place in the overall standings. So means which we're going to go into playoffs. I'm hoping that we can win this year.
All right.
That'd be awesome. That would be so cool. But our hardest team to play is Memphis, and it's like it always seems to be those are our nemesis. Nemesis. It's like funny every time I'm on so I'm their head engineer, or I'm their TV guy. I don't run the station. I just make sure all the electronics and all the engineering side works. My brain is always working on better ways to make things, like literally by the time I left Saturday night, which I'm there from about 12 until about 11, right? So it's a very long day for me. My brain has already designed 3 different versions of gold cams because I don't like the way our gold cams look. They need to be up and down more so you can see a nice shot. But right now they're on tripods and they're stuck in the back and they get this little wonky shot. I mean, it's a good shot, but it's not a great shot. It could be a great shot. My brain already designed 3 different types of suspension pole for a camera that.
Time to bust out the 3D printers.
I know, right? Oh, no, this would have to be. It's a steel. I have an idea of a steel curved.
Yeah.
So it sits back there, and the camera sits up in the top loop, and it's just I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Engineering brain. That's
I'll teach you.
Yeah. Well, God, was it last week? We put up a fence at the house, the front fence, and my brain, because I'm an engineer brain, right? So if it's not level, it's not right, right? Well, the fencing has to go. On one side, it has to go down, and the other side has to go up, but it has to look semi,
Oh, gosh.
So my brain is like, it's not level. It's not level. It's not level. It's going, but it has to because it has to follow the contour.
John, there's a hill. Calm down.
And my own wife had to say, your engineer brain is having major issues right now.
John puts a fence in by driving it through the hill.
Yeah, screw that. It's going to be level. God dang it.
Damn it, there's a fence down there. Don't cross my yard.
So and then last week you showed me the artwork because this is something that's coming to the station is we're going to start running our own radio station. And you sent me this software, right? And it's like I'm playing with it. My brain is working through I'm literally driving to St. Mary's, Georgia to do filming on a project up there for a client, and all the way up and all the way back, my brain is like, okay, we can do it this way, we can do it this way, we can eliminate this, and oh my God, now I'm gonna have to go into voiceovers for my minute and a half spots in between each show. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh crap, now I've got to write voiceovers for everything, and do I AI it, or do I find somebody that can do voiceovers, or because we have that software now that you can just type it in and it'll say it. Yeah. And you tell it how long it's got to be, you give it the music, yes, you upload the music whole night, and it'll give you a finished product. So it's like, oh wow, now I've got to write 30 seconds worth of.
Now you have to get that radio voice.
Hi, welcome, Todd. Yeah, no, it's but so that's kind of where my weekend was, and then yesterday we unloaded from an event we had Thursday, and we're still getting the house ready for sale. By the way, if you're looking for a house, a 4-4 with an outdoor pool, 1.5 acres of land, I've got an 800 square foot workshop that is perfect for someone that wants to do a workshop, a barn, whatever. I got one for you. It's for sale. It's going on the market. It's on Zillow now. We're trying to fight with Zillow because we want it to show up, not show up when you have to click for sale by owner. We can't pick a realtor.
Right.
Because if we pick one realtor, it'll kill my wife's business. It's not that we're leaving the area. We're just selling this house.
Right.
So you pick one realtor. Oh, now see, here's the thing. I think everybody should just get along and be okay with us picking a realtor.
Nope.
But no, hell no, not in this world.
Yeah, so know how it goes.
So anyway, but yeah, that's what I did this weekend. What'd you do this weekend?
Well, my new internet line was activated.
Yeah.
And I spent the weekend rerouting the house. And
oh, boy.
disconnecting Spectrum, running some network speed tests.
How is the new fiber
optic? Oh my God.
And who is this again?
It's called Open Infra.
Open Infra.
Yeah, basically open infrastructure. They lay the infrastructure.
Are they running on the Spectrum lines?
No, they put in their own lines.
They put own
fiber optic.
Now, is it fiber to the house?
It's fiber right to the house, and then from the house it goes to a managed network switch, and then from that switch it's.
So you have no
Cat
copper
6.
in line.
It's Cat 6 right to my router.
Yeah, but no copper to the router.
Well, to my physical router, yes, it's copper. But my physical router has an ONT. If I wanted to plug directly
so
into
you could do that.
I could, but because they have the way they have it set up, they have to have it on their managed switch.
Okay.
But let me just tell you,
Huge
962 megs down and 962 megs up.
Whoa! True up.
True up.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they coming to Newport Richie?
Not that I'm aware of. I know they have a. I know they have they're the company that I'm buying. So what it is it's an open network. So it's a fiber network, fiber trunk line dropped. Okay. And then you have your ISPs jump on there and supply you with your internet service. So their major network, their major hub is what you're going to be buying your services from. So the company that I'm getting my internet from, $45 a month.
What?
Yeah. Oh. It's called Sumo Fiber.
Sumo.
Yeah, Sumo Fiber. $45 a month. That is their lowest plan at 1 gig. Oh, no, they have another plan that's 500 meg. But they have 1 gig up, 1 gig down, $45 a month. They go up to 5 gigs up, 5 gigs down. And the other places, there's even higher. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. If I'm not mistaken, Sumo Fiber does have 1010.
1010. I want Cage. Go back on that shot. I want to send Cage an image real quick and through the chat and have him put in things on. So, can you get up to 5 gig?
Oh yes. Sumo Fiber will. I believe they go up to 10.
Would you ever need 5 gig? Personally,
not really. But I mean, if you're running some kind of massive infrastructure, I do know of a couple people that are basically going to be running their own servers up in Spring Hill. One guy, his son was getting on it, and he's building out a whole infrastructure because he had 1010 run to his house. So he's going to take all his data backup servers and all these different servers that he's been running.
Yeah.
And he's going to just bring them in house. And so he can manage them and control them all in his house. Could you imagine? I asked him, I says, hey, do you know, you guys offer static IPs? Oh yeah. It's $5 per IP. $5, John.
$5.
$5 for static IP. I could split my network all over the place. 1 gig up, 1 gig down. Even my Wi-Fi is hitting because I have that new router.
Yeah.
That new TP-Link I told you about. Wi-Fi 6E that I can't really, use. But listen. Okay. I'm hitting almost 800 on my 6 gigahertz line.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are hitting between 5.5 to almost 600.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to find an image to send to Cage back in the back so he can show it, because I want to introduce everybody to the new studio that's going to be Area 52 up in, I don't know how to do it. Let's do it this way. It's just easier.
Well, I'm telling you, Sumo Fiber is...
Sumo Fiber.
Yeah, and if you don't like them, you can switch internet service providers. Basically it's app driven. So you're just like, I don't like you. I want somebody else.
What?
Yeah.
No. So it's
I'm not tied.
True contract then.
No. Well, I'm on a 2-year because they connected fiber directly to the house, so I didn't have to pay anything. No connection fee. They dropped everything as long as I signed a 2-year for the
gotcha.
45. But
right.
I called Spectrum. I had to call Spectrum.
I think he actually showed up. Show the. Oh yeah, you got it, Cage. So he's got Sumo up there. So for all you people up there, Sumo.
Yeah, Spring Hill.
She does not look like a sumo wrestler.
No,
I'm just saying, she would be the skinniest sumo wrestler I have ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look at scroll down. Show some pretty crazy fees. Maybe we can.
He's trying to. There he goes.
See what they charge here.
I wish they would get their butts in Newport Richie.
Dude,
that would give freaking Fios a run for their money. Which Fios is really truly not true fiber anyway. It's fiber, but it's not.
So under residential and internet, you could check the pricing. 250 megs for 35, 1 gig for 48. You choose Tampa, I believe. Tampa has a 2 gig package for $79.
$79 for
and
2
10
gigs.
gig. A 10 gig. You ready, John?
Yeah.
10 gig down. Hardwired speed is going to be approximately 8 gigs up. All right. Ready?
Wow.
You ready?
Yeah.
$199.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That is nuts.
I'm telling you. And the infrastructure in Spring Hill, like Spring Hill Drive, is where my main trunk line runs. I mean, they put the whole infrastructure in. I'm talking, those big, network cabinets, the green boxes everywhere, everything. They dug up everybody's yard, run fiber optic lines everywhere. I mean, it's been a project.
Now I'm leaving, and now they're coming.
Dude, I've been waiting 10 years. Spectrum's like, oh, we're sorry to see you go. Is there anything we can do? How was your service? Oh, so your service was fine. For what we had, that's all we had.
Yeah.
I mean, for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, well, we can offer you the high speed 1 gig for $69.99. I'm like, yeah, but you can't beat 1 gig up. I said, and you can't beat the 45 I'm paying. Is that a special promotion? I'm like, special for the next 2 years. So it seems pretty good to me.
So that's, and that is, so I know we have stuff to talk about, but this is where I'm going to get into this. That is how they get you. I watch all of their commercials, both sides.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Even WoW. Oh yeah. 1 gig, 1 gig service. That's only down.
Right.
That is not up. And everybody go, oh, I got 1 gig. Now, the average user really only cares about down, unless you're a heavy gamer.
Right.
If you're a heavy gamer, 1 gig down don't mean crap if it ain't a gig up.
Correct.
Because your lag online can be massive. It can literally, as I say, my son's a player, all my kids are players, right? And I guess I bet if I say this, I'm going to say this correct. It's great that you're receiving data package, right? But if you're trying to snipe some guy that's sitting behind a building and you got another guy over there, if you can't react in time, which is your up, you could be one of the, you could be, on your local machine, you could probably be one of the best players in the world. But when you get that crappy upload,
you ready for my ping?
you become the worst player in the world.
Ready for the ping?
Yeah.
1 to 5.
What?
That's almost instantaneous.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. I was like, I'd be hitting, 10 milliseconds.
Yeah.
20 milliseconds.
Yep.
To, anywhere from 10 and up. I'd barely, maybe every so often in the middle of the night, maybe I'd hit a 10 on Spectrum.
Right.
But yeah, it's
Wow. That's amazing. Amazing. Yeah. They need to come here. So here's a little bit of news. Here's a little bit of news that we're going to let everybody know. So in December, the station will be running. The station will be live, but it won't be live. They're only from December 1st to Christmas or New Year's Eve, it'll be all reruns.
okay.
We'll run normally, right? Starting in January, all shows will come back that are back. Some shows are leaving, and that's fine. They're gone. We'll keep them on reruns just because some of them are really good shows. Like our show, we'll be back on them, but it'll look different because I'll be remoting from Georgia. You'll be down here in good old Newport Richie or Port Richie. And because we're moving the studio to a little bit out of Chattanooga, right? And we're actually going to do a hybrid up there. So we're going to have the same style of studio we have now, except for it's going to be called the Coffee Pod Cafe. And if Cage will show that image, this is our new image, right? It's still going to be Area 52 Media Group, right? but it's going to be a cafe. It's going to be half cafe, half podcasting.
Yeah.
Hence the Coffee Pod Cafe, right? And now that's Beaner and Roaster. Those guys, and I'm working on getting it animated. I haven't thrown this at Cage yet, but if he can do it, it's fun. If not, I've got a friend that's going to help me do it. So they're actually going to do their own podcast.
That's hilarious.
So, it'll be us talking, but their mouths will move and their eyes will blink every now and then, that kind of thing. But yeah, so it's going to be where the front half is going to be a cafe and it's not going to be crazy. It's going to be nerdy. So it's going to look like this. It's going to have nerd stuff everywhere. And you're going to be able to get some coffee and some Danishes or something like that. I'm not going to go nuts like we did over in the mall, but we're going to have a big door in the middle so you can actually watch podcasting or TV shows being filmed or recorded. Mm-hmm. So it's like a little blend. I think and there's nobody doing it. I mean, and there's a lot of people doing podcasts, a lot of people doing cafe, but there's no cafes built around it that I know of. So it's going to be, a matter of fact, I talked to a business coach, actually not a coach. They are a business broker. And I always go to these guys when I say, hey, look, I've got an idea and I want to find out if I'm in a blue ocean or if I'm in a red ocean. Right? So blue ocean meaning that I've got no competition. Red ocean means I've got too much competition. And it's something. The guy was not only excited for us. Will you take investors? And third question he asked me, he goes, do you want a license or do you want a franchise? When a business broker asks you those questions, you know it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's exciting. We haven't found the location. We're leaving this week, Wednesday. Hopefully we'll get a chance to go up and look around, because I have to make a decision by December, because that's why we're not going to be open in December, is we literally have to take the studio apart and get this place back to looking like it was before we moved in here, I hate to go, but I can't find anybody to run the studio, down here. So we're just going to go up there, and we're not going to rebrand. We're going to go up as Area 52 TV, Area 52 Media Group. The cafe is just going to be the Coffee Pod Cafe. It's brought to you by Area 52 Media Group and Area 52 TV. So it's exciting, scary. Because I don't know that area up there at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the area because my family lives in the Chattanooga. I have tons of family in the Chattanooga area. Kind of grew up as a kid, lived on Lookout Mountain, lived in Chickamauga, which is right out of Chattanooga. So it's where my dad's side of the family is from. So I'm not going in cold, but it's a brand new business, they've never seen anything up there like it. I've talked to 5 chambers up there, which we're joining 3 of those. And every one of them are like, there's nobody doing what you're doing. Nobody's doing what we're doing here.
Which is kind of funny, seeing how it's kind of like the hub of the internet.
Yeah.
Spoke is really technologically, a lot of the businesses that are in that area are really technologically driven.
Very tech. And Chattanooga was one of the first gig cities.
Yeah.
Now it sits as a 10 gig city. And by the time we get built,
so my house.
And so by the time we get built and ready to go in January, they say they're rolling out 20 gig.
Wow.
As a 20 gig city.
That's disgusting.
I know, right? Just
imagine the infrastructure you can run on
I
that.
could actually stream 4K.
Yeah.
And it not be a problem.
Dude, you can buy a bunch of different static IPs and just have multiple businesses running right there.
Right.
You can each one could have their
could
own
build a server
setup.
farm and no,
God.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that. So, the first story I wanted to talk about today was because you talk about a lot of smart stuff, right?
Yeah.
So a ton of these Emporia smart plugs, which I have these,
Oh no, John.
right? And they've been recalled for shock risk,
No, it's no big deal.
and they can start fires.
Okay, now we're talking. It's shocking. It could be,
Oh, it's just a little buzz. It's because it's low voltage.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
it's high voltage, low voltage, right?
Yeah, and death.
And death. Yeah.
Yeah, so these devices, that's kind of crazy that they must have put the relays or something in there, the smaller electronics, the lower voltage stuff, in a way that they're just either too close or the connections are just not good for the in the unit itself.
Yeah, because these are the one I bought some of these, and I have a log cabin, so my house is all wood.
Tinder.
Oh my God. So I actually called my next door neighbor. I said, hey, can you do me a big favor? and I saw this ad. I said, can you go to my house and unplug these? I sent him a picture. Unplug these, please. Then I lost all my shit. I'm like, oh, damn it. Because I was, my security system up there allows me to connect to those and set up profiles so I can turn lights on, turn lights off. And I mean, I do it without it, but it's an automatic schedule rotation. I'm like, well, crap.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it sucks. You know, a lot of times these home automation devices, you know, these companies get into the stuff and start, you know, throwing out that, you know, oh, we can do this, we can do that, smart stuff.
Right.
They would create their own app, and a lot of these companies are just overseas, and there's really kind of dodgy stuff. That's why a lot of the stuff that I try to use, you know, like the GE, you know, products and things like that, if I can, you know.
But we still have to do, before we live, one of the shows that we are going to do is the Z-Wave setup. How to set it up from the get-go, because I'm interested. You know, again, my security system up there works with Z-Wave technology.
Right.
So, but the only problem with them right now is, because I have my own video surveillance, but with this company, and I'm not going to name the company yet, but with this company is because we don't have Spectrum or Fios or Charter or these, we're using T-Mobile, their home internet, which is badass anyway. You know, it really does work, but they don't support that video service.
No. A lot of times, like
they do AT&T and Verizon, but they don't do T-Mobile.
Yeah, the T-Mobile, there's, even though the router, I mean, if you're just needing general internet, it works good. But if you need things to like be able to go in there, port forward, turn off net, have other, you know, linear controls over your network, you can't do it.
No.
And it's very difficult to do. So, you know, at that point, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, especially having a surveillance system where you, unless it's connecting from its service to a cloud base and then from the cloud base to you, then you may be able to get away with it. But sometimes,
that's how come my Arlo does work because of that. Yeah. Because my Arlo goes to a cloud base first, right? Yeah. You know, so because so I was going to buy some of these. Did you hear what happened to Wyze?
No.
Okay, so Wyze webcams. They had a caching issue, right? So what happened is all these people that had that, because I'm telling you, there's been a run on Wyze cameras.
Right.
I mean, for $29.
I know.
It's this little robotic and blah, blah, blah. You know, now I have 3 Wyze cameras and I like them.
Yeah, little cubes.
Little cubes, right? Now they have the trackable ones, right? So we'll actually track movement. It is kind of cool, I guess, but the problem is, and if it happened once, you know it's going to happen again and again and again. So people were going in and checking their Wyze cameras, and it wasn't their houses.
All right.
They were looking at somebody else's house.
Sounds scary.
Yeah. It's like, And they said what it was, there was a caching issue.
Right.
Right. So it got in there and got everything jumbled up. So you were looking at, I mean, could you imagine having that in your house and you're walking through your house naked and someone's like, oh my God, this is not my house, but hey.
How you doing?
How you doing? You know,
Hey,
'cause
buddy.
you can talk through these things.
Yeah.
Like it drives Cage insane when I see what's going on in the studio and then I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I can't talk back. And what I didn't tell him is he can talk back.
Yeah, you can talk back. I'm just not going to answer. I won't respond. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the kids be like,
So, but yeah, that's what happened. And you know, and I mean, for a price point of $29.
yeah, I mean
That's pretty. And the night vision's good on them, whole 9 yards. I just want to see. Unfortunately, they don't like the ones I have on the outside are Wyze. No, not Wyze. They're Arlo, and their battery.
Yeah.
So what I did is, and so instead of running cables, I just I went and bought I bought a solar panel just to charge the battery, right? But I had to. You're going to be like, what the hell's wrong with you?
I had to buy a 100-watt solar panel.
No, I bought a little, the little square ones, right? The little rectangle ones. But the problem is they were USB-C out. But the the Arlo cameras are USB micros.
Oh yeah.
So I had to get an adapter to put the micro in.
Did it work?
Yeah. So far. But I had to
keep it charged.
But I had to spray paint them brown so they would match the house. So I taped up the solar panel,
okay.
and I sprayed them so they wouldn't stand out like big sore thumbs, and they kind of blended in with the house.
Yeah, because those ones are white, aren't they?
They are white.
Yeah.
They're all, So what I did is I spray painted them, then I put them out just enough for the sun to hit them, and it keeps. So far, so good.
How long has it been going?
2 months.
All right, that's pretty good then.
Yeah.
Because those Arlos, they go quick.
They do. Yeah. Oh my God, do they?
They also make a cellular one.
Do they really?
Yeah, Arlo
Yeah, but that thing is probably going to be.
It's like $10 a month for the service, but I mean, you have it. You use it wherever you want. At that point. So that's mostly made for job sites, things like that, where businesses, got to keep an eye on their equipment and stuff like that.
Yep.
They'll just pop it wherever they want, self-service, put a little solar thing on it.
Yep.
And let it good to go.
Yeah, the solar thing works out really well. Yeah. It really does. And I've got another Nighthawk system that I'm going to probably change the cameras out. The only problem with the Nighthawk system is you have to have a TV hooked up to the box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it'll work on Wi-Fi, but it preferred to have a hardline connection.
Yeah.
But it has a spotlight on it. I don't want the spotlight.
John just wants to turn it on and off.
That's it. I just want to be able to go. I just want to be able to just see you in the dark.
Believe it or not, I like the Ring spotlight cams. Those things work very good. Mm-hmm. I love those things. They got very good video quality, and they'll even turn on. Hey, you're being recorded, and do whatever you want. Talk back to you.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that one. So, the webcam. I mean, I've been looking at the Wyze robotics to put near my RVs, front and back. So because it'll do 360 degrees. Mm-hmm. But if you do it up on top, when you're parked, I put a little magnet mount up there, so it will magnet and then run a. The problem is they're not battery though; they're strictly power. So I don't know if I can run them on They won't run on a solar connection. Well, you have to put a battery in line that would.
Well, then you put yourself a little battery backup. The little power.
Oh yeah.
See? And they got a USB port on them.
That's right.
They have a micro.
That is
true. And then
you
plug it into the solar panel.
I didn't think of that. Oh my God, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
It says there's your battery backup.
Boom, bam.
Put it in a little like Tupperware, where the connection so they don't get wet. You're good to go, man.
Put them in a gun case.
Yeah.
Ammo case.
Yeah, there you go.
Ammo case is on top of the RV. Oh,
trail cam case.
That's it, man. So
John's got ideas now.
Well, you can't do my brain that way because I go down rabbit holes.
That's the kind of stuff I'd be doing. I just do that all around the house,
I feel like I'm losing my voice.
No, you're not.
I know, right?
Just like you're getting skinnier.
I know. I'm not getting skinnier. Look at these guns. Ow, that hurt.
No.
You hear that pop? Ooh, that was me.
Oh, we're getting old. That's all.
I am. I'm like snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah.
So we
tomorrow.
know this was coming, and I don't hate the fact that they're going to jump over it. So the iPhone 15 is going to go to a USB-C. Now, this is all because of Europe.
Correct.
It's not because we over here are demanding this, because we're all good with Lightning port. But the only problem is I'm going to have to get all different dongles now. That is one thing that sucks.
Well, yes and no. The thing is like with my iPad, I have USB-C. And
this one here is USB-C.
And all the devices in my car are the Lightning. And the problem with that is like I'm on a service call, pull out my tablet, it's getting low. I'm like, dang it, I don't have my USB-C.
Can you do a converter? A Lightning port to USB-C?
Yeah, I mean, they do make
them. They make them, right?
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, just...
I don't want... Yeah, I know.
I mean, I understand where Europe's coming from, but the funny thing is even though this is what they want...
Right.
And yes, they're going to get what they want, but Apple's going to limit the faster charging features and faster internets. They didn't supposedly... They are not upgrading the USB-C port to be able to support the faster data transfers either, unless you're using an Apple-approved cord. Which, you kind of, in a way, I believe, truthfully, at the end of the day, this made better sense for Apple because in the long run, everybody's going to go out and buy all new cables at $29.99.
Oh
a piece.
yeah, they're gonna win.
They are winning in this.
It's gonna be a win all the way
Yeah,
around.
I mean, they already had transitioned the iPads. You know, it was just a matter of time. All they did was push their hand. Okay, no problem. We'll go ahead and do this. You know, they're not going to give everybody their charger.
Nope.
They're just going to throw in a USB-C cable in there.
Now go buy a charger.
Nah,
They did say that they did have. Let me go down to the bottom of this because there was.
I do know that there was another one.
So the 20-watt USB-C power adapter is $19. The 35-watt dual USB-C port compact power adapter is $59, and the 35-watt dual USB-C port power adapter, the compact, they're both $60. So they're going to upcharge you for the bricks. They're going to give you a cable, but you got to go buy the brick.
Wow.
Now, right now, my iPhone, this iPhone here has a USB-C to Lightning port cable.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and bought that. And then this iPad has it. My watch is already USB-C anyway. So these three things right here are all USB-C to either Lightning port, USB-C to C, USB-C to Lightning port.
Yeah,
Or
you know
to,
what's going to happen eventually? Apple's
magnetic.
just going to take the charger completely out and make them all, wireless.
I don't want that
It's gonna
because
happen.
I can't do that with this. With OtterBox, you can't lay it on the power and it charge.
I do.
With your OtterBox?
Yes.
What?
I have a Samsung charger. I have the Samsung branded wireless charger,
Do you really?
and it goes right through.
Does it really?
Yeah.
It doesn't get hot?
No,
Man, I picked that thing up and it feels like it's on fire.
I put it on there every night. Never had a problem.
Really?
Yeah. It only works with the Samsung adapter, but I put it on there. It works. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah, I every time I've tried to use it, because I've got the Apple version, and
Right.
it does not.
Yeah,
make it through.
I think they're gonna try to keep it. So that's why they have their mag whatever cases and stuff like that. It's just a gimmick, turn down the power output on the device.
So it doesn't go through.
Right, so it doesn't go through.
Gotcha.
Then we could sell you a case that has a magnifier in it
Yeah.
that'll get you what you need.
Right.
Yeah, so
Because I've been looking online. I wanted to buy one of the nice little stands. You just put your phone on there, your watch on there,
yeah.
and your earbuds in there. It all charges, right?
except for you can't charge.
Can't charge.
Yeah.
This is the third case
The
I've had.
Samsung branded one, it's a black one. It was made by Samsung. It
Okay.
works perfectly fine.
All right.
Yeah, it's got a micro USB.
Well,
on
there
it.
you have it, folks.
Yeah, so if you got an OtterBox and an Apple iPhone, and you still want
You
the
have
wireless-
OtterBox?
Otter, it's all the way to
Otter.
go.
Yeah.
OtterBox.
Yeah, that's the same one. Yeah.
First, to buy an iPhone, you buy an OtterBox.
I do.
Walk out the door,
This is
spending
a-
$70 on a case.
Dude, I destroy OtterBoxes.
Yeah.
I should be ashamed of myself.
back in-
I break them.
back
Look at
in the
this. I've already
day-
broke. This is brand new.
I know.
I've already broke
Yeah.
the tab over here.
And that's a tough one right there. At first, when you first got it, you're
you
like,
can't get it open. Now it's like rip.
yeah. And the bottom, oh gosh, those things were tight.
Yeah.
But I swear by the OtterBox.
And I take the
cases.
plastic out. I don't
You know
want
how
the plastic.
scared I am of ever dropping it, especially being the front and back
Yep.
of both glass. No,
As
it's
a matter
not
of
going to
fact,
happen.
I think there's no glass in there. There's no even. I don't even have a cover on it anymore.
Yeah, I don't. Covers are so overrated.
Well,
Except for
they break.
my wife. We went to a
Sucks.
we went to a show, right?
Yeah.
And there's a company that makes they have a 3M cover that's custom made. So what it does is the guy's testing it out. He has an iPhone there, and he's taking a wrench and beating the heck out of the front of the screen. And that's how he's showing me.
No.
And he's like, watch this. Boom, boom, boom. And the phone's bouncing off the table. And then he grabs the phone, he goes, whoop, and throws it. I'm like,
I got one of those.
so I'm like,
For
what is-
$70, I think $69.
yeah,
something like
and what it was is it's a 3M type product material, and you in the machine custom prints it and cuts it out. So you just type in what your phone is, and it die cuts it out for it. Put it onto this they have a little machine that can, put it onto the phone for you, so it's nice and smooth. And my wife had to put it on her phone, and she's like, "Can I go ahead and do the hammer thing?" And I'm like, "No,
no.
I says, I don't care what he
It may
did.
not break the glass, but it's damaging
It
the
looked-
electronics in the background.
It
Come
looked
on.
pretty, but I'm not doing it.
Oh, my.
And it's nice because it doesn't get all messed up like how the glass ones do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like weird. It does feel a little different because it's like a plastic coating.
Yeah. It's almost like a velvet touch.
Nah, it's
No?
kind of like a plasticky.
But do you
not-
have to turn up your sensitivity so when you touch it, it knows it's your finger?
No, she's got no problems. Works perfect.
Oh, you
I
dang.
was really surprised. I could have put it on mine, but I opted. I don't like nobody touching my stuff. So.
No, that's kind of a. And by the way, all you people that have these things where you turn your thing and no one can see your screen, stop watching porn.
You know, those things are the most annoying.
That's the only reason. If I see somebody has it on there, I'm like, oh, you watch a lot of porn, do you? And they're all like, no. I'm like, no, you do.
So, they're saying that, the periscoping camera and the titanium case is supposed to entice.
That's not going to entice me.
No, that's not going to entice me.
You know, that's how they got us with the first Macs, the first towers that came out. Because
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
you remember they were plastic,
Right.
Now it's the new, like, because I got one. I got the
aluminum
dual G5, right?
Yeah.
Titanium case. I'm like, what? Titanium case? Let me see. Because I literally went in, because this is when Tiger Direct was still down there, and they were a big Mac guy people, right?
Yeah.
I walked in. I said, I'm here to order. I need to get a new Mac. And the guy goes, okay, what are you doing? I'm like, video editing, blah, blah, blah. I said,
Here's what I'm doing.
and that's when you could build it.
Yeah.
You could say, this is what I want in it. And I said, I'll do the G4. He goes, why are you going G4? I'm like, why? What's next? He goes, well, we got a G5 dual core. And that's when dual core was a thing. I mean, when you said the word dual core, you're like, nobody's got dual core. Oh my God, I got to have this. And I'm like, really? Is it going to be much more? He goes, it's going to be the same cost. It's just, it's new. I'm like, really? So I told him everything I had in there, built it out, paid my money. And he goes, congratulations, you're the first titanium dual core G5 in Tampa. I'm like, what? He goes, yep, you're number one.
Oh, wow.
I said, well, the serial number says 00001. She goes, no. I'm like, well, then don't tell me that crap.
Yeah.
But man, I got that
Give me
thing
a
there.
balloon.
I got there. It came in because they wouldn't ship it. So you had to go pick it up. Right. So it came in and the guy called me and said, okay, come get it. And, we're all nerds and we're all sitting there and everybody's looking on so they brought it out and everybody's like, oh my God, what is that? I said, this is the new dual core G5 titanium, blah, blah, blah. And the guy goes, hey, do you want me to set it up and show it to him? I'm like, well, hell yeah, set it up. Literally in Tiger Direct, we had this thing built out. I had the matching high res Apple monitor, the one that had the plug built into it. And only thing I think it ever plug into was the G5.
Right.
You can't take that thing and use it anywhere else. It just couldn't, right? So it's all set up, right? And the guy's going through, he goes, let me just set it up for you. I said, yeah, let's set it up, man. We're going through the whole setup process and everything else. And dude, there had to be 100 people sitting there, watch this dude set this thing up. He said that day he sold 15 in a matter of 2 hours.
Wow.
In fact, that's a big deal because that machine cost me almost $6,000.
Right.
Because I mean, it had the big boy stuff in it.
He's like, thank you,
Oh
John.
my God, he did. He's like, dude. He goes, whatever I can do for you. I said, oh, okay. So I said, here's what I want. Here's what I want. So anyway, but yeah. So the titanium back in the day, well, that was a thing, man. You're like, oh my God. Now it's like, oh, it's titanium.
Yeah.
Oh, great. It's going to overheat.
I don't think I what drives me to them are going to be, faster processor and better performance, stronger network connectivity.
Yep.
And more RAM.
Yeah.
And that's not even the storage per se, it's more RAM because I want to be able to.
Well, I think the
8 gigs is what
8
I'm
gigs,
hearing.
right? Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. Tomorrow.
I like the periscope lens.
Are they going to physically bounce in and out or no? Or are they?
Well, it does it. Yes, it does. It's movement inside the lens cap,
now,
right?
See, the 14s were having issues when they first came out, where
they would shudder back and forth.
Yeah, jittering. So
that was horrible. Well, that's why I didn't buy 14.
I haven't had that problem ever again.
I'm going to
some software updates. And good things are good. But,
I am moving to the 15. I'm already on the list.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm hearing 16. They're going to be this big anniversary edition. I don't know.
Well, if it's a big
Watch.
anniversary edition, I'll go ahead and get it. But
then again, we saw the iPhone X, that
Yeah.
was, and then the XR, and it was like everybody's like, nah, wasn't all that. So
wasn't what you thought it was.
So tomorrow, everybody, Apple will be talking about their new product releases, and also iOS 17 now.
17. I've already got 17.
Yeah.
I've been running the beta.
Yeah, they'll be talking about 17, and shortly after that, you'll be able to upgrade your iPhones to the 17.
Glitch. A lot of glitches in 17.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, the first generation. There's always,
oh God.
but
You couldn't, like in mail, if you went only show me new, just unread, it would freak out, dude.
I will tell you that
It was horrible. I'm like, oh my God, this sucks.
I think the new features of the iOS 17 are very intuitive. A lot of stuff that is going to be useful, especially for the dictation of voicemails.
Yep.
Text right to your phone.
Yep.
And I saw another one that's really cool, because something I don't like doing is when I receive a text message and somebody holds and talks into the text message, and I receive it, I never play it. It is one of the most annoying things. I'm like, dude, that's the whole point in a text message, not to leave me a voice message on
Right.
a text message, and
I mean, different dictation, but to leave me a voicemail, I'm like, no, I'm good.
no, they kind of record their voice talking, and now the phone is going to be able to dictate that.
That's cool.
Which is, it's going to give you a little heads up of what it's
Yeah.
saying, which is cool, because like if you're in a meeting and you receive a text and they did a voice, you're not going to hit play. So I need to see if it's going to be, important or not. So there's a lot of cool things coming out. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I think software wise, we're going to have more innovation than we are with the phone.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I really hope they don't do what they pulled on the 14, which is use the 13's processor on the standard 14.
No, they're not supposed to.
And then just,
it said we're getting a new processor.
yeah, because I think
the new processor.
they think they need to do that across the board, because I think a lot of people got butthurt on that.
They did get butthurt.
And I only believe that happened just because of the issues with the chips and availability. I don't think we'll be running into that problem again this time.
Speaking of chips,
Chip.
the U.S. lead on chip wars was secure for years and not anymore.
Well, I think they're blowing this out of proportion.
Bloomberg, you suck.
They
God,
cock blocked me.
God have mercy.
So
China's catching up to us now.
well, that's what they're saying, but the problem is okay. They come.
Are they fear mongering?
Yes, Huawei comes out with their new phone. Okay.
Yeah.
They bring out a chip that theoretically is supposed to be like, wow. They're just pissed off at the fact that their lockdowns on China didn't, keep them from being able to develop that chip. The problem is you don't know how long that chip was already in development.
Yeah, right.
And you don't know what products they already, had imported and was ready to do this with. Their R&D could have been going on for years. Yep. They've probably already tooled their machines to be ready for this. And, for them to be able to go, oh, look, they come out with a new chip and be like, come on, this chip war thing has only been going on for what, 2 years, if that, and there was a big chip shortage at first. Yep. So, and not for nothing, but China has the ability to recycle so many devices. Just imagine how many Apple devices are over there.
Right.
Tear them down, break them down,
right.
Recycle them.
Seriously.
I'm telling you, they're resourceful. Just because they came out with something new doesn't mean they have the resources to continue such. Now, if there's another one come down the line with major technological changes within the next 6 months, I would be concerned.
Yeah.
But if you go a year or so before something ever happens, you hit them. So just calm down, everybody.
Yeah,
it's not what you think, you know?
And we're gonna we're gonna stay on. So, Cage, we're gonna jump down to number 9 too. Intel boosts Meteor Lake's CPU clocks beyond 5 gigahertz.
This is ridiculous.
Now, is this real? Is this because it says a leak? Is this the real deal? Are they?
I think 4 gigahertz is going to be like the norm. But being able to push it beyond 5 gigahertz is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I could remember for the longest time saying we're never going to be able to get past 3 gigahertz. Is for the longest time. x86 and 64-bit cores could just not pass that 3 gigahertz threshold.
Right.
For the longest time, it was 2 gigahertz. Then it finally crept up to 3. Then 4 seemed to be the magic number for the longest time. And I remember when they were trying to, use liquid nitrogen and blow air conditioning systems on them just to
hit 4. Right.
Now we're talking beyond 5.
Right.
I mean, that's ridiculous. And
so for all the people at home that don't understand the gigahertz, tell them what that means.
That is basically the clock speed of the processor and how fast it can calculate problems.
Right.
So the higher the clock speed, the faster it can move data back and forth amongst itself. Usually what happens is when you increase the clock speed, though, you also increase its thermals.
It will get hotter.
It will get hotter.
You'll need more fans.
And it's more difficult.
Or thermite.
Yeah,
Is it thermite?
No.
What is the thermal paste?
Oh, it's a thermal compound.
Thermal compound.
Yeah. But it does when they bring the transistors and everything closer together, it already creates more heat, but there's also going to be resonance between the electronics, and they got to keep that stuff from interfering with each other so they can do their, and the higher the clock speed, the more resonance these devices start putting out, and it starts causing the chip to start messing itself up,
right?
So this is very interesting. They're getting smaller.
Hence
getting
why
faster.
the Wyze. I mean the little units we were talking about in the very beginning get hot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's why they get hot, is because it's taken so much power to do its job, and everything is so close, and so that's why it gets hot.
Exactly. So the higher the bandwidth, the higher the bandwidth on the processor itself, the clock speed. I mean, any kind of processor, you can theoretically, we could take a processor today, a standard processor that's going 4 gigahertz, and overclock it, forcing it to go into these realms of 5 gigahertz and above. But then you're going to need massive amounts of cooling, and what ends up happening is they get very unstable. And they start goofing up. So some of the information they start putting out doesn't make any sense.
Right. Gobbledygook.
It's like, it's like trying to stay up all night on a, bender, trying to, go to work the next day, and you work in accounting, and you're wondering why your numbers are all messed up. So
1 + 1 is 5.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
New math.
But it's pretty interesting that even today, without having to use these newfangled PCs, that they're able to get standard dies to be able to put out these numbers is ridiculous.
Do you think we'll ever get into the double digits?
It would take a long time. I mean, look how long it took us to get to this level.
Right.
I mean, this is... It depends. It really depends on where they take technology. I don't think they can. I think it's getting more and more difficult for them to go any smaller. You know what I mean? They can start stacking things one on top of another.
Still more
but as
heat.
far as shrinking those dies down, it's getting more and more difficult.
Right. So I'm gonna go now. We're gonna jump back up to for Roblox. Okay, Roblox.
Yes.
You know what this screams to me? If you're ugly, you gotta have a chance.
No, you know what this screams to me? This screams to me is why. Look, it's supposed to be a game geared for young children,
right?
Okay, why are
so now the pedophiles can hide?
Exactly. This is bothersome. I understand.
Let's first of all, Roblox is launching avatar-based voice calls with facial motion tracking. So in other words, you can talk to other people without actually ever being on camera. You can have an avatar talk for you, move whole 9 yards. That's why I was joking around. It's made for ugly people, because if you're ugly, you got to have a chance. You can make your avatar look cute.
The funny thing is first off, why are we encouraging our children who are playing this game to start talking to strangers who we should know by now, okay, that everything you see on the internet is not always real. And the problem with today's generation is these kids take who they're speaking to and what is transpiring as real and for face value.
Right.
And they their hangups are, oh, well, that's Timmy. He's 5 years old. You know, are you sure that really is Timmy?
Who's 5 years old?
Kids are able to quickly bond on the internet and all of a sudden have friends and relationships just like that. It's ridiculous. And the kids don't understand the concept of that person can be whoever they want to be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's the problem. So why are we encouraging video chat?
Right.
Even in a game, certain things like chat, you know, there should be basic chat where you can only get to the conversation. Let's go build this house over here. Let's do stuff over here that is words and meanings that are relevant to the game.
Correct.
Not, hey, John, where are you located?
Right.
How long have you been there? How old are you?
Right.
What's your house address?
Right.
You want to meet me over at the park next week? Now we got, hey, you want a video chat later? We can do it when mom and dad's sleeping.
Right.
Under the blankets.
Right.
You know, come on. This is ridiculous. There's no reason. There is no reason Roblox would need to have this unless Roblox being built by somebody who's a little on the weird side.
Gotcha.
See?
I'm just when you put that in there,
And that's why.
I'm like, what the hell
Because,
are they
you know,
thinking?
so many tools out there, John. So many tools that are out there for that are adding just because they're an app or just because they do something on the internet, everybody's adding a chat feature to it.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to keep my children off of being able to chat to people? Why in the hell did Pinterest add a chat feature?
Yeah, that was, I don't.
Why?
Yeah.
It's just because you can doesn't mean you have to and doesn't make it right. So when you sit there and say, okay, as an adult and a parent, you're like, Pinterest. It's pins of cool things that kids like on the internet. They see a picture that's kind of cool. Pin it. Boom. Right? Now we can chat with the people that we pin stuff with, and now we can, you know, fabricate a whole conversation and let it go south.
Not good.
Why?
Not good.
Why? So, you know, I personally think it's the responsibilities of the software developers and the major corporations that build this stuff out. They need to take into consideration some of the things that they're doing, you know, and stop it.
Yep.
You know, it's, especially how easy it is for some, you know, kids to go out there and make an email address, make a new account, you know, and even you can't make an account if you're under the age of 13 on Facebook. Well, then just change the year.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's no safeguard.
There's no safeguards at all. At all. I mean, well, there's no safeguards on any of it.
So
that's like when you go. Now, I'm not saying that I go there, but I understand this world.
Right.
Go to a porn site. It says, "Are you 18
over the age of 18?
Sure, I am.
Click. Sure am.
God.
So yeah,
because you put that on there doesn't abstain. You know,
and it doesn't. And you know what? Truthfully, it should not block you from, you know, what could happen to your company.
I know.
And it's ridiculous. So that's why I threw that in there.
I'm going to say this. We're probably going to skip one. We're going to go and jump. This one's a pretty good. I love this. Nintendo Switch is going to get a better CPU and GPU. Maybe.
Yes, it's about.
Is that the rumor or is it true?
That's kind of the rumor. Nintendo's really always tight-lipped on their hardware.
They are. That's what I'm saying. When I saw them, I'm going,
dude, they are.
When I see Spec leak, I'm like,
they are so hard to get like any kind of information out of, and
it's like a lockjaw.
And I could understand that it's about time because
it is about time because
Switch has been based on a Tegra chip for years.
Yeah,
I mean that chip's old.
But it works.
It works. But,
it works.
But we're talking that this capability with these two chips could be on Xbox level graphics and power. Which
that means it'd kill that thing fast.
Now, because that at the end of the day, Nintendo does not, you know, they're not the ones that go for the A-list games and things like that. They don't care. They know what they have. Their games are rooted in, you know, a legacy that's, you know, they're fun. Mario Party, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, you know, this Zelda, you know, these games are just, they're nostalgic. They've been around for years.
Right.
and people are going to always want to play that.
They are. We got
their stuff's fun.
Yeah, we got this little weird thing that we bought at the fair. It has a little HDMI hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in the back of your computer. It's got 2 remote. It's got like thousands of games on it.
Oh, wow.
Good games too. Retro, retro games. And then the new ones, semi-new ones. Not, you don't get Call of Duty and shit like that, but it's still got some cool games. You're like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they over made it where it'll fit to a 16:9 screen.
Little emulators. They're pretty cool.
I'm telling you.
You know what? And they kind of have to do it because some of these, once these discs and these game cartridges are gone,
yep,
these games could be lost forever.
Yep.
And a lot of them, they haven't been ported over to the internet and a digital ROM. So,
So I have a question. How did you fare in the hurricane?
I fared fine.
We fared fine. We lost some limbs and stuff like that, but
out by the coast, like I said, the west side of
they got tore up.
All the way up and down Hernando's.
Yeah, we have friends that were flooded out.
Yeah, that really sucks. And that reminds me of the No Name Storm when that
it did. Yeah.
And I knew that was going to happen down through there when they were talking about it. I just didn't think people realized how quickly that tide could come in and how.
If you didn't watch that ship from last year, and that didn't scare you.
Look, I'm not going to say anything here, but I mean, it's not like, these weather guys have not said if a storm ever came in at these trajectories and this kind of this speed and this, you are going to have an upwelling of the Gulf into the Tampa Bay area, and it's going to pile up water. And they always say this every year.
Oh my God, we only got 7 seconds left. Every year, dude.
Every year.
Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week on Tech Shamans. Bye.
Bye.